Welcome to Sweet Tea with Coach Key. No slime, no grime, straight sugar. Real life stories of inspiration, perseverance, and prosperity. I hope you have your teacups ready. We have the sugar.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Sweet Tea with Coach Key with me. That was so corny. But anyway, I am going to talk today very briefly about our willingness and our responsibility, to make other people happy and their lives fulfilled and them feeling worthy and all of that great stuff. So as you know, I am a life coach, motivational speaker. I am also a mom, a wife, all of those great things. And I bring that up because so many women wear so many different hats, and there can be a lot of pressure to make everyone happy. And the willingness is there because we are nurturers, because we want the best for everyone, and we want to love on our families and friends. However, let's look up what the word happiness actually means. So I researched it, and happiness is a feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. Happiness is also fortunate and convenient. Synonyms for happy is fortunate, lucky, favorable, advantageous, opportune, timely, merry, untroubled, sunny, joyous, blessed, radiant. I don't like to attribute happiness to joy. I think that there's two different things, but according to the dictionary, it is the same. I feel like happiness, the root word being hap, attributes to something actually happening, and I feel like joy is something that you have in your heart, whether nothing is happening or you're sitting still. It's just something that cannot be taken from you. You are just joyful, at peace. But let's get back to happiness as it relates to you overexerting yourself for everyone else to be happy. So your power is limited. I think that we like to think that we are in control in different areas of our lives when we aren't. You know, God is in control, and especially when it comes to other people. Let's think about a car, for example. If you get on the highway and you're fully attentive to the road, right? You're fully attentive. You're not texting. You may not even have the radio on. Both hands on the steering wheel, 10 and 2. You're focused. Well, just because you're focused and you're doing everything within your power to make sure that you get to your end destination safely, someone else in another car may not be taking those same steps, which in turn could result in a crash. My point is, you doing everything that you know how, everything that you have been taught how to do in order to make sure that something is followed through correctly, may not result in the ending being what you suspected. And that is so relevant when it comes to happiness. As a life coach, it started off with me really having to do some soul searching to realize that I have got to be honest with people. And it helped me to become more savvy with the way that I deliver my words and my perspective, to not just throw it out there and keep it real, because that's a lot of people's excuse. Oh, I just keep it real. Well, no, that's not justification for, being rude or boisterous. There's ways to carry out what you're trying to say. And I think for me, my struggle was not to say something that would not make someone happy or make it acceptable. And I had to become courageous enough to know that it was my responsibility given by God to help people change their lives. And I take that very seriously. So I know what my limits are. And I know so many people, whether it's coaching clients, women I've met in my group coaching classes, and also just people that I went to school with, etc., are really burning themselves out trying to make everyone happy other than themselves. So in the beginning, I said we're going to talk about responsibility and willingness. I know that you are willing to, put forth effort to make everyone happy. But being that you don't have dominion over that territory, your effort could be very, very likely that it is not at all effective. And that's not to say that your heart is not in the right place and God won't bless you for your intentions. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is you can't burn yourself dry trying to please people who are not in a position to move their life or to move the dial on their life in the direction of happiness, peace, and prosperity. You are blessed with the thought and the mind to want to help somebody else, and also to seek prosperity, because seek peace and happiness, joyfulness, and prosperity. That's a blessing. And I encourage you to cherish that. If you are placing all of your effort into something or someone who doesn't appreciate or doesn't acknowledge what you're doing, I think that may be an indication that it may be time for you to step away. And because the Bible tells us to go out and be fruitful. So be fruitful and multiply. So in order to bear fruit, you have got to make sure you're planting in healthy soil. You're nurturing the soil, nurturing the seed. And if you've planted, you can only tell a tree, the worth of the tree, by the fruit that it bears. So if you're pouring into someone, and I'm not talking about praying for people, I'm talking about constantly, day in and day out, and it's starting to affect your life and your happiness, and it's not getting anywhere. I like to think of it of like pouring sand into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. If you're doing this and you are not reaping the benefits of it, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship in that situation. And it's not an end-all, be-all. It's simply a time for reflection. But it is important that we utilize these signs or these life-changing occurrences as places to stop and reflect and determine where we are, what we're looking at, and what we need to do going forward. Happiness and joy is truly a blessing. You can't put a price on it. You can't put a price on it. So I just encourage you to make sure that, to do some soul searching and make sure that what you're doing is, one, for the right intentions. Make sure that you are, moving in a direction with somebody that God has placed in your life, and it's not you with your flesh that's overexerting yourself in a relationship. And also realize that there are limitations to what you can do in someone else's life. But prayer is always available. Never get tired of praying for people and wishing and hoping the best for them. I hope you have a great week and take care.